Hello everybody, it's Nick here with Nick Tolman Music, and today we're going to go ahead and continue our series of beginner guitar lessons using the Mel Bay Modern Guitar Method Grade 1. Today we're going to be looking at page 10 in the book. As we're getting into the book, you're going to start finding that maybe you need more and more time on each page. That's perfectly okay. Take the time that you need on each page to really master what's happening before you move on. You don't want to get ahead of yourself too much. So take your time. It's okay to go slow. On page 10, we have a few new things happening, and this page is one that a lot of people starting out tend to blow through the first few pages really quickly, but this page might hang you up just a little bit, and that's okay. But let's talk about the new things that are taking place here. First off, it's talking to us about 3/4 time, and you'll notice that. So we talked about time signatures in an earlier lesson. If you haven't seen that, please check it out. And there's nothing too big about that. The big thing with 3/4 time is that there's going to be 3 beats in every measure rather than 4. So 4/4 time is the most commonly used time signature, especially in pop music and modern music. But 3/4 time is also really common, right? So waltzes are in 3/4 time. It has a different feel, right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, rather than 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Just a different kind of feel. You don't have to think about it too much. Notes are still going to get the same value. Quarter note still gets 1 beat. Half note still gets 2 beats. You're not going to see whole notes in 3/4 time. They're not going to happen because the whole notes get 4 beats. So we're not going to really see those, okay? But we are going to see something new that we haven't seen yet. And you'll also see these in 4/4 time. But this is called a dotted half note. Now, you'll notice it looks just like a half note. It has a stem and a hollow note head just like a half note, but it has a little dot right off to the side. This dot means that that half note is going to get 3 beats rather than 2. The dot, to explain the dot, anytime you have a dot next to a note, the dot is equal to half the value of whatever that note is. So for instance, a half note gets 2 beats, the dot is equal to half that, so the dot is equal to 1 extra beat attached to it, so you get 3 beats. Now that might seem confusing, but down the road that might be important to understand because you can put a dot next to any kind of note. So you can put a dot next to a quarter note. A quarter note gets 1 beat, you put a dot next to it, the dot's going to be equal to half of that quarter note, so the dot is equal to half a beat. So dotted quarter note is 1.5 beats. Wow, that might seem crazy to you right now. It'll make a lot more sense down the road. Right now we're just going to remember that a dotted half note gets 3 beats, and we're going to see that on this page. The other big important thing that's going to be different on this page that we haven't seen yet is we're going to be using all 6 notes that we've learned. Okay, so far we've learned E, F, and G on the first string, and we've learned B, C, and D on the second string. B, C, D, E, F, G, right? That's walking all the way up those notes that we've learned. We're going to use all of them on this page, and that might be a little tricky because we're going to be switching strings. We're going to play notes on either of them. We might be going back and forth. Really take your time. Don't be afraid of doing these nice and slow and slowly working your way up in tempo. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at the first exercise here. It's in 3/4 time like we've just talked about. So there's only going to be 3 beats in each measure, and we're also going to utilize some dotted half notes. So watch out for those, okay? We're also going to be playing across both strings, the first and second string, utilizing all 6 of the notes that we've learned. If you've forgotten where the notes are on the staff or something, you can refer back to page 7 or page 9 where we talked about those note names and where they are on the staff. So there we go. Exercise number 1 on page 10. This is the Merry Men. I'm going to go ahead and set my metronome at 72 Again, this is where I kind of like to start to get a gauge. Feel free to go slower if you need. Okay, here we go. 72. 1, 2, 3, 1, ready, play. 2, 3. 2, 3. 2, 3. 2, 3. 2, 3. Off. There it is at 72. That's what it sounds like. Again, feel free to slow that down. If you need to go down to 60 or 50 or even slower, that's perfectly okay. Making sure our notes are connected, making sure we're getting a good sound on every note, that it's not choppy, that there's not space in between notes. These are the big things that we're looking out for. Here's what it sounds like at 120. One, 2, 3, 1, ready, play. There we go. Okay, so moving on to the next exercise, which is called Frolic. This is really just going to be drilling kind of our coordination between these 6 notes and making sure that we can move really to any of those notes from any of those notes. Okay, that's kind of the trick to guitar, is learning how to navigate to and from different notes and different patterns and different chords and things like that. These exercises are really great for this, so I wouldn't skip over them. Really take them seriously, start them out slow and build them up. Play them until you can go as fast as you possibly can with these exercises. It's only going to help build your coordination and your dexterity on the instrument. So here's exercise number 2 on page 10. It's called Frolic. Metronome set at 72. Here's what it sounds like. 1, 2, ready, play. So there we go. That's at 72. Good starting point. Go slower if you need to. Here's what it sounds like at 120. 1, 2, ready, play. Good. This is a really fantastic exercise. Take it faster than 120 if you would like. It really just, the faster you can play it is only going to be the better for you in the long run. But remember, as you make things faster, make sure that you're playing them clean and playing them well. It's better to play them slowly and perfectly than to play them fast with mistakes. Let's take a look at the third exercise here. It's called EB. And again, we're just focusing on all 6 of these notes that we have learned. This one's going to incorporate half notes and quarter notes. Let's hear what it sounds like at 72. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. There we go. Let's hear what it sounds like at 120. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, play. There we go. Like I said at the beginning of this lesson, feel free to take as much time as you need to on this, especially on this page. Don't really move ahead, because the next page we're going to learn notes on the 3rd string. We don't want to move ahead to that until we really feel like we've mastered these 6 notes on the first 2 strings, okay? So take your time. It's okay to go slow. Use the metronome to keep track of where you're at. You know, start at a tempo and slowly work your way up. And it'll be great. You're going to do great. So thank you for tuning in, and please subscribe. Stay tuned for our next guitar lesson.